Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. If you jump in here live, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure you give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. Tonight we're going to talk some football. Now, I did a video last night talking about the big game coming up on Thursday, August 28th. Good evening, Keveron. Glad to have you here, which officially is the beginning of the college football season, although there's about 5 or 6 games on Saturday, August 23rd, and just like last year, we're calling that week 0, and the following weekend, we're calling that week 1, and there's about 25 games on that Thursday, but I mentioned, the main one, that'll be the ESPN primetime game, and then I mentioned the big game coming up on the Friday, and then the Sunday and the Monday, but didn't talk about the Saturday games. I'm still not going to, because since it's still 3.5 months away, you try to go to these websites and look at the games, and they've got a list of the games, but only 3 or 4 of them have an actual game time set. And if you follow the channel, you know that when college football starts, I come on here usually on Thursday and talk about all the games coming up Thursday and Friday, and then on Friday I'll talk about all the games coming up on Saturday. So as the season gets closer, I'm still going to do that, so there's no point in coming on here now 3.5 months early and telling you every single game coming up that Saturday. But they did announce earlier this week the 3, I guess you call them in the wrestling world, main event games that Saturday, the 3 main games, and of course they're all going to be on ABC. Noon we'll have Tennessee and Syracuse, which may end up being a pretty good game, because since Tennessee lost Nico, we have no idea what their offense is going to do, especially considering even though Nico was there last year, most of their offense was Dylan Sampson, and he's not there anymore. And Syracuse had a heck of an offense last year, but they had no defense at all. So that may end up being a pretty good game. If Syracuse offense is anything close to what it was last year, they might hang with Tennessee. 3:30 on ABC, we have Alabama and Florida State. And somebody asked me last night, I want to say it was Michael, but I could be wrong. But somebody asked me last night what I thought about Alabama, and I said Bama loses at least 4 games. Now, I don't think this is one of them. If you watch the channel, I've already did my Florida State prediction, and I've got them going 6-6 and losing to Alabama. Hey there, Octavius. Glad to have you here. So I don't think Florida State beats Alabama, but I don't think Bama's going to be that good. So if Florida State was to beat them, it wouldn't surprise me. But I definitely don't see this being one of those games where it's going to be Bama 45, Florida State 10. I just don't see that. I just don't think Bama is going to be that good this year. And the primetime game, the main event game, the only game that matters, the game that if you're not watching, you're just wrong. It's the battle of the Tigers, one real Tiger, one pretend Tiger, one that can spell go, one that can't spell go. LSU and Clemson, and that game is on ABC as well. And if you watch the channel, you know that I've already did my LSU prediction, and I've did my Clemson prediction, so you know that I've got LSU winning this game. But if Clemson beats them, I'll be a little surprised, but not much. The only way I'll be surprised is if Clemson beats them by 2 or 3 scores, then I'd be surprised. But if it's a close game, Clemson wins, I wouldn't be too surprised. But I just think LSU is just better. Clemson's going to have basically a whole new defense, although I think Tom Allen is the real deal. And they've also got a brand new running back on offense. So I think the first couple of games, first couple of weeks, their offense is going to be a work in progress. And I just don't think you're going to beat LSU by scoring 24 points. And that's about what I see Clemson scoring in that game. Thank you, Octavius. I will be the rocker of the day. If I could sing, I'd even sing you a rock song, but I promise you, you don't want that. And then 10:30 that Saturday on ESPN, California and Oregon State. And you know, I always talk about how there's going to come a time where, you know, you're really only truly going to get 2 or 3 televised games per week, and all the rest of them are going to be streamed, or you're going to have to pay for them. There's going to come a time where whoever your team is, if you want to watch your team play, it's going to be like going to watch a movie. You want to pay $3 every Saturday or $5 every Saturday. Applebee's, well, hopefully you'll get you a medium steak, maybe medium rare. Anything beyond that, you're getting cardboard. So just go to a retail store and get you a box of cardboard and pour steak sauce on it. So hopefully you'll get you a steak and eat it either medium or medium rare. Otherwise, you're eating cardboard. And I think they'll start out $3 a game, $5 a game, but it'll be just like cigarettes. You know, when cigarettes first came out, everybody said, man, that's ridiculous. And now people pay $20 a carton and they think, oh, I've got to have it, I've got to have it. Same way with alcohol, I've got to have it, I've got to have it. Well, these pay-per-view games are going to be the same way. They'll start out $3 a game, $5 a game, and the die-hard football fans will pay for it, saying, I've got to have my football, I've got to have my football. And then the price will go up. And I bring that up because if you recall this past year, the NFL said, you know what? We're taking over Christmas Day. We don't care what the NBA has done, but we're taking over Christmas Day. And the NFL had 3 games on Christmas. And of course, they dominated the TV ratings. Obviously, if the NFL's on, they're always going to win the TV battle. If you think otherwise, you're out of your mind. But 2 of them came on regular TV, and 1 of them came on Amazon Prime or one of those streaming services. But this year, earlier this week, when the NFL schedule came out, all 3 games on Christmas Day this year will be streamed, and I guarantee you, people will still watch them, and I guarantee you, they'll blow the NBA out of the water. And it won't be long where half of the NFL Sunday games will be streamed. And then when the NFL does it and everybody watches, college football is going to start doing it as well. But they're not going to be able to stream because with the NFL, you know, you've only got maximum 15 games on Sunday. Whereas college football, you've got 100. Well, there's only so many streaming services. So that's why I say when college football does it, it's going to be in pay-per-view form. You'll go to this channel and you'll pay $4 to watch this team. Or you'll go to this channel and you'll pay $4 to watch this team. Kind of like with the NBA package. If you're a diehard NBA fan, you know that every year when the NBA starts, you know, you can pay so much per month. I had the NBA package. That's kind of how this will be. You know, you'll either pay a flat fee to watch college football, or you'll just pay weekly to watch just your team, which ain't bad if you just want to watch your team. But let's say you're one of those people that, you know, wants to watch your team play, but your team don't play till 7:30 Saturday night. Well, if you're home all day long, you don't want to just sit there and wait for your team to play. So at noon, you're going to pay $4 or $5 to watch this team. At 3:30, you're going to pay $4 or $5 to watch this team. And then, of course, 7:30, you're going to pay $4 or $5 to watch your team. So you're going to be paying $15 every Saturday just to watch college football. So that can add up after a while, but that's the road we're heading down, so you might as well get ready for it because it's coming. NASCAR now, has, starting next weekend, 5 races on Amazon Prime, and now the NFL has games on Amazon Prime, so it won't be long you'll be seeing it from college football. And don't think you won't, because if you do, you're crazy. And I wanted to give you the top 5 Heisman candidates. Now, if you watch this channel, you know that I don't like the Heisman at all. The Heisman to me is the biggest joke in all of college football. And Octavius, I hope you enjoyed your meal. But I know people do love the Heisman. So if you follow it, good for you. But, you know, every year they put out these Heisman odds, and then there's always somebody on the list that doesn't have the year that you expect. And by week 5, they're pretty much out of the Heisman race. And then there'll be somebody that's not on this list that'll have a great first month of the season. And by October, they'll be the Heisman front runner. But the top 5 candidates right now are Texas quarterback Arch Manning, LSU quarterback Garrett Nussmeier, Clemson quarterback Cade Klubnik, Alabama wide receiver Ryan Williams, and Ohio State wide receiver Jeremiah Smith. Now, originally this list came out back in January, like almost right after this past season ended, and it had those same 5 guys plus Nico Iamaleava. And honestly, I'm not sure why he was even on the list. His numbers last year were never great. So I guess they had him up there based on potential because, you know, he put up good numbers against bad teams, but against good to great teams, he was just an average quarterback. And so far, he has not re-entered this list. But if you look over the list, obviously, Arch is going to be the early favorite. His last name starts with an M and rhymes with Fanning. So if he has a decent season, he's going to win the Heisman. But I've said this before, I'm not convinced that Arch is as great as they think he is. Now, if he is, Texas has a pretty good shot to win the national championship because they were good last year. But so far, almost every single series he's played, all he does is run the ball. But when you're the starting quarterback, you're not going to run the ball 45 times a game. So is he going to be able to drop back and throw the ball 35 times a game? I don't know. And I'm not saying that he can't, but I haven't seen it. I'm not going to say you're a Heisman front runner because your last name is Manning. I'm sorry. Some Mannings are good. Not all Mannings are good. So just because you're kin to the Manning family doesn't mean you're automatically great. And I have yet to see it. Maybe I'll see it this year. This is year to show it. But so far, I ain't seen it. But if Garrett Nussmeier puts up the kind of year he put up last year, I think he wins it. And Jeremiah Smith has a pretty good shot because he's returning to the team that just won the national championship. And Julian Sagan's supposed to be really, really good. I'm not sure about Ryan Williams. I don't think Bama's that good. Plus, I still don't know who their quarterback is, so I'm not sure they have a quarterback that can get the ball to Ryan Williams. And I've already told you before, but I'll say it again, Cade Klubnik could be on this list, and I'm fine with that, but he plays for Clemson. They're not a big-time brand-name team. They never have been. They never will be. Cade Klubnik can go out there and have 10,000 passing yards and throw 75 touchdowns, and he's not winning the Heisman. So I don't care what he does. I don't care if Arch Manning sucks. I don't care if Garrett Nussmeier sucks. I don't care if Jeremiah Smith sucks. I don't care if Ryan Williams sucks. Cade Klubnik is not winning the Heisman. It's not going to happen. There will never be a Clemson player put up the kind of stats that Deshaun Watson put up in 2016, and he didn't win it, so nobody will ever win it. And Octavius, if it's your first time being here, feel free to give the video a like and a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so, and share the video on all social media platforms. I normally don't come on here this early, especially on a Friday, but my wife and kids are gone, and I have no idea what time they're coming home. I said, you know what, let me go ahead and do this video while the house is nice and quiet. That way I ain't got to worry about the kids interfering. Last night I started doing the video and it wasn't 3 minutes into it. My wife and daughter came in the house, but luckily I don't think you could hear them in the background. But as soon as I started the video, they walked in. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and do it while the house is nice and quiet. That way there'll be no interruptions. I'm always worried either the twins will wake up or that my wife and daughter will come walking in the house. So I said, let me go ahead and do it while the house is nice and quiet. But let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. Why is giving birth called delivery and not takeout? And one last reminder, 24 hours from right now, I'll be at 244 Livestock Road, East Denali, Georgia, for CMW and PWF. Doors open at 6 o'clock, and bell time will be 7 o'clock. The name of this show is Major Impact. So if you live in North Georgia, Northeast Georgia, or upstate South Carolina, I hope to see you tomorrow night at 244 Livestock Road, East Denali, Georgia. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Bell time is 7 o'clock for CMW and PWF Major Impact TV taping. But until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them.